everybody. Welcome back to Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center for our Quickfire Channeling. So we're at a tie now, right?
I have no idea. Yeah.
You won one, I won one. So this is the tiebreaker. Tiebreaker. Pop, 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 pop. So here, if you are new to our Quickfire Channeling, we're just going to pull some random cards that we have not pre-pulled. I did not pre-pull anything. I haven't even pre-picked my deck.
So I have 3 sitting here and they're all like, which one are you going to use? Which one are you going to use?
So we're going to get to that. So we're not pre-doing anything, but as we pull it, our spirit's going to guide and we're going to see who can channel the messages that you're going to need the quickest. So this is, I don't want to say, okay, so this is based on quantity and quality, okay? And quality, because we want to be fast so that we get the point. But obviously, you know, if it's trash, then we're going to have discernment about it. So is there anything that you want to talk about? Do we have anything going on? Anything? Any workshops? Any events?
I'm in card pull mode. I don't know.
Well, I just thought we'd let them know before we got started anything that we've got going on. Now, I will say we have Whispering Table Society. That is November 22nd at 6:30 p.m. We have the Winter Solstice event at 3 Roots on December 21st. And we have iFlow retreats next summer solstice of 2026, June 19th through 22nd. If you guys have not received an email to get your pre-sale tickets or seen the link anywhere, depending on when you're watching this video, please reach out to us, earthandstarwellness@gmail.com, because that is a feminine rites of passage retreat that you do not want to miss. And Aaron's going to be, I almost called you Ariel. Wow. It is a beach retreat. We will be around the ocean, so maybe it's mermaids speaking to me.
Yeah.
But Aaron there will be doing some warrior woman stuff, using your voice, expressing. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to be channeling the archetypal spirit of the Crone at that particular event. So don't miss that. What deck are we going to use? I feel it. I feel it coming like a punch. I feel spirit like bam.
I wanted to use this one, but this one keeps yelling at me. This is my chakra deck. Maybe I'll use both. I don't know. But this one's yelling right now. So
okay. So I'm pulling out 3, but this is the first one that's trying to come to me. So who's pulling first, madame?
I guess I will go first.
Yes, sir. I already got it in your hand.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Speak to us. Ooh, now my eyes twitching.
Your mom.
Confusion.
Okay, what's coming to me? Ooh, bam, point from here. What's coming to me in confusion. So confusion is a type of concept that's used in psychology in order to make the conscious mind go to sleep. When there is an element of confusion in your life, look at this as trickster energy. This is spirit allowing your ego mind, your fears, and your consciousness to just give up and go to sleep because it can't possibly wrap itself around what's actually happening. So eventually it's going to surrender and shut up and go to sleep. And this is where the infinite potential of the subconscious mind gets to expand, take over, create, learn, release, absorb. So when I hear confusion, I'm thinking, oh, honey, there's some things going on right now, and spirit's trying to sing you a little lullaby and put you to sleep, huh? Because you're really trying to just grasp it a little too hard. Just let it go, let it flow, and then everything's going to work out beautifully, and you're going to be bigger than you ever thought. Like I'm seeing yellow, huge expansion, but let go kind of comes into my brain right now. Your turn.
That's great. I think you said it like eloquently, because as soon as I saw this, and then the clouds, I immediately saw like the clouds around the crown and just that fog, and just the need to see the fog for what it is, that confusion, and just to push it out to see clearly and know that like that's the illusion, not the truth that's circling you, that it's just the fog.
I like that you called the fog the illusion, because it's not the real thing that you were supposed to be focusing on, but that's all that we do when we're trying to see and understand and push through, and then you can't punch clouds.
I like that. My photographic mind just, sees somebody, battling that illusion, just yeah, that's great.
I like that. Okay, my turn. Anything else? I feel like there's something else about that. I'm picking up the words mind fog. So sometimes what I'm picking up is that mind fog can be caused. Okay, so we're going to bring it from like here down to like here. Sometimes when people are dealing with mind fog and confusion, it could be due to other factors. It could be due to factors in the physical body, like how you're eating or exercising, or emotions that need to be purged. It could also do with negative things that are being attracted and drawn to you based on your own low vibrations. So ultimately, again, from this higher perspective, this is allowed to happen so that you can eventually recognize the things that you need to purge from your body, the substances and foods that you need to purge from your body, the emotions that you need to purge from your body, in order to get that clarity and allow the clarity, not to push through to the clarity, but to allow the clarity to come. So it's almost like the same message, but from two different perspectives, from the perspective of the observer and the perspective of the person who's in the clouds.
I like that.
It can feel like an attack of some sort. Okay. I was guided to my tree deck. This one's going to be harder because they're literally trees.
For you, maybe, but like trees for me, I'm like, ooh.
But I was guided to two different cards.
Oh,
and I'm going to throw them at the same time. Okay. So there's more the sea, and then there's the Unfurts.
But I immediately see water and then blooming, like just right off the bat. You have your seeds planted, and you water them, you nurture them, and I mean, I guess the tree, the flower, whatever, it sprouts, it blooms, and then you get to experience the beautiful radiant colors and the cycle of that blooming. That's immediately just what came to mind for me. So I guess whatever that is that you're working on, that you're sitting with, watering that internal you, and then seeing the fruition of it as you consistently water that, and then it blooms.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, as soon as I saw this card, I was like, joy, abundance, all of that kind of stuff. And then the message that started coming to me, I had to make sure it wasn't a sales pitch. So I actually looked it up in the book, and it still is a sales pitch.
Pitch it, baby.
Okay, because we got the ocean and we've got the bloom, like you were talking about. So now the bloom first, this is a type of ragweed, number one. And it's talking about fulfillment, abundance, sweetness, hope, persistence, linking the inner and the outer worlds, gathering together, what you need to ensure progress. So all of those beautiful things, but then the sea, and this is your pilgrimage. And it says pilgrimage right there. It says pilgrimage. I'm not making this up, guys. Journey, pilgrimage, ocean, homelands, the female lineages, mother, the mysteries, emotion, healing. So on one level, we're looking at healing those inner feminine parts in order to create the joy and the abundance that you want, similar to what Erin said. But then on the other hand, our feminine rites of retreat, our feminine rites of passage retreat is literally on the ocean. On one side is the ocean, on the other side is the sound. And it's all about gathering together, taking a journey together, having that sacred circle in order to heal through, in order to find all of those inner parts and to activate them into who you want to be, into that successful future, into that blooming, into that forward journey. And I really like this more of the sea card because it does represent our maternal links, but people don't always understand that our feminine and maternal links are an urge to travel because water likes to move. Water does not like to be stagnant. It likes to move through. It likes to nurture. It likes to give. It likes to bring life and create life as it flows. That's why the retreat is called I Flow. It is not a stagnant space of held emotion. So I like that one a lot. I gave you the point.
All right.
Mine was a sales pitch.
Hey, when spirit speaks, we just give the message. All right. Let's
see. The messenger.
Right?
I've had to say that so many times in session. Listen, guys.
All right. Well, 2 just flew out here. I don't even know what the second one is, but Vanity and Workaholic.
I'm not taking that one. I'm gonna give you.
I don't know about the Vanity yet. The Workaholic, all work and no play is what I get from the Workaholic. Slow down. You work really, really hard and all this stuff, but then you got to play. The whole work hard, play hard balance.
Mm-hmm.
The Vanity's throwing me off on this one, though. I just get the play, the be, and this one, the picture of the art, how I feel about my art and creativity, expression. Express yourself.
Let me see the Vanity card again.
That's the Vanity card. I mean, both of these give me like expression vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I think of the blue, this is my chakra deck. It's throat. So anything to do with throat, I think of expression. Expressing art through art, emotions, maybe expressing through gathering. I don't know if this guy is giving some cosmic wisdom here or what, but I'm loving the staff.
So here's what comes to me about this, and this is deeper than you may realize right on the surface, because I didn't want to take this reading at first because of that workaholic card. I was like, nope, Capricorn moon, I'm not taking that. Nope. Spirit gonna spank me. But I have been really good. I have been taking time off. I have been working within my boundaries. So I've been doing really good this year with the workaholic thing. And it's just because when something's your passion and you have that earth behind it, you want to just do and have such a structure and create constantly. And I love to create constantly, but it is the play thing. And the more that you create your boundaries and allow yourself to play and understand the things that drive you and inspire you, then even your work can become playful because they are the means within which you're expressing your true nature. You're expressing your desires. You're using your light codes so that even your work becomes dharmic. The Vanity piece, I have not recorded it yet, although by the time this show comes out, it will not have come out yet. So I downloaded something and I wrote a Sunday sermon I have a 3-page Sunday sermon called The 44th Victim, based on a dream that I had, where as I was awaking, I heard those words, the 44th victim. And the second page is about spiritual materialism. Show that card again. We have a leader, okay? We have a wise man. Look at the white hair, the beard, the sash that says, I've been around and I know some things. He's holding a staff, which is a tool of strength and power, standing in front of people holding alcoholic beverages in front of a city, right? So there's all of this power and all of this strength and all of this wisdom, but are these spiritual trappings? Are these things that he has used to place himself because of the need? There's two sides to this, okay? So one is there a need to be important? Is there a need to be liked? Is there a need to be special? And how much of that need drives people into their spiritual path so that they want to take on places of leadership to feed their own ego, to feed their own insecurities, so that they feel special, rather than allowing their spirituality to simply guide them into their own authenticity, their own inner peace, their own spaces. But then there's a flip side to that. Show me the card again, because this is where I feel like it's more aligned, because he actually has a light around him. Sometimes your brand of specialness falls on deaf and dumb ears because of the space that you're trying to speak it to. These people are drunk. You're in the middle of brick walls and cement. You have a light. And just because you are speaking it to deaf and dumb ears does not mean that you are not brilliant. Does not mean that you have a low vibration, does not mean that you don't shine brightly. Take your message, keep moving forward, keep expanding, keep shining, keep growing, because maybe not pictured here, maybe there's like someone in the background over there who got that seed of light implanted from this man. And now they're like, okay, I'm going to shine now too. And it starts doing that all over the world, shining all over. So this to me says, don't be discouraged by the people who don't understand you, who don't like you, who seem to reject you, who have negative things to say about the things that you're channeling and downloading. And just keep moving, keep going about your path, keep doing the things that you do, because this is God's work, bro. All right, I'm done.
I love that. I love that every thought that I had that came in, that you just kept expounding on it. So that was great. It was beautiful. Because like as you were talking, and I was sitting there holding the picture the first time, I was like, you were talking about like the drinks that they were holding, and I was like, they're not even listening to this dude. And then you like went on to talk about that too, and I'm like, yep, this hitting.
I will say they're called spirits for a reason. Alcohol is called spirits. Well, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about that, because like, I think back in the day, they used that to say that like when you drink alcohol, demons could possess you or some crap. And so they call them spirits.
Okay.
Although I will say there are certain spirits you don't want me to drink, because there are certain spirits where I dance on tabletops, certain spirits where I will fight you and walk down a highway by myself because I'm mad. And then spirits, but I just feel very calm and happy, right. Which is why these days I tend to just stick to some nice pink wines. Give me a nice wine. I don't need a drop kick anymore. It's the spirits, right? But Jesus gave everyone wine at weddings. He thought that it was a necessary spirit for enjoyment and fun. So I just have lots of thoughts and theories about spirits, and we don't have to go there today.
All right.
But it also can create a spirit of depression, depending on how often it's consumed, Or it can like fill that gene in a people who are mediums, but don't necessarily know how to express that, or people who are empaths, people who give a lot of energy. There's like this little energetic gene that is really only filled when it has joy. So like this is your gene and it has to have joy to be filled as an empath or medium or whatever that is, right? So when we have a lack of joy, maybe by the things we're consuming or the way our mindsets are going, all work, no play, whatever that happens to be. When there is no joy, this receptor is empty and it seems to crave usually sugars. So then it gets replaced by people who eat lots and lots of sugar. You hear mediums talk all the time about how they crave chocolate or things like that, because when they're giving and giving and putting out all of that energy, rather than taking balanced time to sit with their own joy, they immediately just get that instant gratification with sweets. Same thing for alcoholics, because that's also a sugar. They bring in that alcohol and that fills that receptor. So on my nights that I'm really enjoying my wine, I let myself enjoy it and then also create my own joy so that doesn't become me. When I'm drinking my lovely cacao, I'm like, do I have joy before I drink this cacao? If the answer is yes, I will drink this cacao. Do I have joy before I consume this wine? Can I find joy in this sunset and then also enjoy the wine with the sunset? Those sorts of things. Okay, so now that we thoroughly addressed addiction, we can move on a little bit. Okay. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay. I'm trying to take notes of everything. So the last one was vanity and play, essentially, right?
Yeah.
This card, the paradigm shift. Ooh, girl.
I immediately see like higher dimensions, third eye knowledge coming in, playful energy. I don't know. I relate purple to cosmic. I saw like purple colors in there, but there's like little eyes in the wings. So going up to higher dimensions.
Dimension. The third eye is very much representative of the sixth dimension, which is our higher self. So what comes to me about this is, how do you create a paradigm shift? What is a paradigm shift? So the element of air, which is what this card is, the element of air specifically, this is your thoughts, third eye space, right? Now, when we're sitting with our thoughts, this is where we can express and change things, change our reality by changing what we think, changing how we self-talk, changing how we believe. And I think that some people get this confused with spiritual bypassing, because when someone is struggling or hurting, they're like, oh, well, you can't think that way. You can't think negatively like that, because that's the reality you're creating. And both are true. Because when you're in the middle of a struggle, you want to be able to express your struggle, but also be aware that in expressing your struggle, you're also spreading that darkness. So when you talk to other people and you're giving them that struggle, you're saying, oh, this is how I'm feeling, and this is what I think, and this is what I believe. The other person you're giving it to might have the capacity to hold that for you, or they might not. And it might incite in them the same beliefs, the same thought processes, and we've spread that to somebody else who did not have the capacity to hold that for us and help us process. So now what? Now we're still having the negative thought, the negative self-talk, and now so is my best friend. You know what I mean? So now we're both doubly negative here. So there is like a balance that takes place when we're going through something negative, to be able to express, to journal out, to feel the allowing of the feeling, and then shifting that into, now how can I overcome this? So this moment that I'm processing doesn't become my permanent reality, so that we don't create beliefs in a moment of processing. Because when we process, we're like, F them, I hate them, this is the stupidest effing day I've ever had. You know what I mean? But then sometimes these things get stuck in your head where we start to repeat the same things every time something happens, and we're creating a belief. And as soon as we start vibrating that belief, then it's our reality, because that's the vibration we're putting out. And so now our reality becomes about this stupid thing, and this being the worst day, and this always happens, and why is it always gotta be this way? Now our entire reality is that one thought. So the air within which we allow our third eye to breathe, which is our thoughts, is how we create shift and how we create our reality. Anything come up for you, Erin?
So as you started talking, I like let everything come in, and it was cool because I felt it like shift downwards as I had the thought of, you know, your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions, you know, define how you express who you are, and like your values and what you believe in. And so as you were talking, like I felt that idea just kind of move through the chakras, like literally as that would, you know. So you talk about being stuck in spaces with those thoughts, and those thoughts become your words. Like you say, you know, you're talking to other people about it, and then, you know, the actions that you take, you know, reflect the spaces that you're in. But the one thing that came to mind when you were talking about talking to other people about it, you know, when you share that story, and like, okay, well, that's the vibration you're putting out, so that's the reality that you're creating. More so of like asking. So instead of like saying, oh, this is where I am, almost like asking for that different perspective. You know, you have these thoughts and whatnot that you see that you want to shift.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of, you know, like, I don't know, sitting in those thoughts, asking other people, asking the universe for a different perspective to help shift those thoughts, to help shift those words, you know, and even in the asking, it's being open to receive new thoughts, a new way of thinking, a new pattern. And you're already shifting that through your words, which is going to shift your actions, which is going to shift your reality that you're living in.
And it's a shift on two different levels, because this brings us, by changing your thoughts and like the air that your third eye gets to breathe, it's pushing you further into higher dimensional consciousness. But the word paradigm means fundamental. So you're actually creating a foundational shift. You're creating the bottom shift, the security shift. You're creating the security, the foundation, the baseline for everything else through this shift. So it goes both ways. Absolutely, yes.
That's cool. I like that.
Your turn.
I actually am being called to use that other deck now. So I'm gonna.
What shift? What shift?
Yeah, see? You
What did we just take? What deck did we just use?
So I was using my chakra
Okay.
deck, but the other one that is now like, oh, it's my turn, is my Sacred Rebels.
Ooh. Rebellion.
Speak to us. Okay. Release the dark wound, let love live.
The first thing that came to me before you actually read it, because I couldn't see the words, but I realized that she's letting go of a fish. And this felt positive to me. It was like allow, release. And it goes just hand in hand with what we've been talking about, really, through even these other card pulls. So this must be a theme that you guys are going through some shit. So it was like she was taking something that she'd been holding so desperately, So it's something that means a lot. You know, this could be the pain that she went through, the things that her inner child deserves, or ways that she wishes she was, or things she wished she had. But it's something special because it's a fish. It's not a monster that she's letting go. And fish flow. Fish are beautiful in that way. They're very, the word comes that says floppy, but that's not what I mean. It feels feminine to me, you know?
Right.
So she lets it go into the water, and the water represents flow. It represents emotion. It represents that feminine nature. And as she releases the thing that's so important to her, it feels like this is when it actually has the opportunity to integrate. Because as long as we're holding something so closely, oh God, what's that thing? Something popped into my head, but I can't even remember it now. Ego stands for edge God out. So it's like when we're holding something so tightly that we need, that's our ego. But it keeps us separate from the thing that we're trying so tightly to hold. But as soon as we let it go, that's when the magic can happen, the water, the magic, right? And that's when the integration and the transformation happens. And now suddenly we are the thing that we've been trying so desperately to get. And I guess that is kind of, because the description was what again?
Release the dark wound, let love live. That's what the words say.
That does remind me of shadow work. Let love live.
Yeah. I mean, again, as I'm looking more at it, like while you were talking, I can see more, but like, so I immediately saw like the water, the feminine, and the letting go. Mm-hmm. And there's like little teeny, looks like little fireworks or sparks right there. So in my mind, I'm thinking like it went back to that like solid foundation that we had just talked about. But like she's letting the fish go back in water where it belongs, because a fish can't live out of water, you know, and you're talking about holding on to things and our shadow work and things like that. We love the fish, but it doesn't live out of water. And if we want to hold it and keep it whatever for ourselves, then we're suffocating it. And we know that by letting it go back into the water where it can live and thrive and grow, then the love for both of us can expand and that life can just flow.
So is it possible to suffocate, like you said, the thing that you're holding so tightly to, you're suffocating it. Is it possible to suffocate your own fear, to suffocate in your own fear, to suffocate your own vulnerability, to suffocate your own... Yeah, it all kind of comes back to fear. Is it possible to suffocate in those things as we're holding so tightly to them? Your answer was yes.
Yeah, there's so much more to that though. Like, you know, everything you said about the ego, like that's, you know, what'd you say, edging God out? Mm-hmm. You know, like denying that divinity within you, that spirituality. Like we are divine souls operating in this 3D world that we express through our human selves, through our thoughts, through our words, through our actions. So maybe that goes back to the illusion part and the fogginess that we can pretend in that illusion that we're holding on and keeping ourselves safe, but really we're not. We need to let go. Surrender to that, whether it's our feminine letting go and surrender and growing in that and honoring that divine internally and externally, all of it.
Mm-hmm. I want you to pull another card. I might like this deck.
Oh, this, like, you know, I love them all. I do. I love them all, but I really like this deck. All right. We got two.
Yeah, but what's the one that's sticking out of the top of the deck also? This might be a 3-carder.
Ah,
There's one that's higher than the others, and I saw it looked like a ballerina to me.
All right, which one though? Because you're not wrong, and it caught my eye, but I was like, no, there's already two on the table. So there's one on top, but then there's that one.
Higher one, the higher one.
That one?
That one.
All right.
I'm like trying to see over the corner like I can.
I mean, is this an order? Because I haven't looked at any of these yet. Everything's face down, which I think is part of it. So I guess this is the first one. Second one. And then, oh God. Third one. Oh Lord.
What did they say? The third one reminds me instantly of Crone. That's Crone. That is the Crone. There is
to the end.
No,
the worthwhile.
Okay.
Shock of the new. Oh, I love that card. Follow your own rhythm.
I just want to read on that one. Give me that one first, okay? That is the Crone. I'm telling you, I spotted that card with my soul before you even had it out of the deck. That's my lady, the Crone, okay? So the Crone, if you look up anything about it, it's usually characterized by like a woman with a black veil over her head. And it's because she's the veil walker. The Crone is someone who takes up space. She takes up a mantle in her community as the wisdom keeper. She's already lived as the child. She's already lived as the mother. And now, because we respect our elders and the wisdom that they have, because they've taken the time to turn their knowledge into actual action and experience, now she has the ability to sit back and share her wisdom, to be the leader, to be that teacher, to be the person that the community looks to when they need guidance. But she's the veil walker, because between each of these, there's a portal, right? So the inner child has a portal from the in-between spaces into life, and also a portal from the child to the woman, the creator, the life giver, the manifester. Now that manifester has a portal to the inner child and also has a portal to the wise woman, to the Crone. The Crone has a portal to that life bringer, to that manifester, and a portal to death and what's beyond it. So anyone who sits in the Crone position is a veil walker. They have the ability to not only know all of the other things that came before, such as the inner child, innocence, manifestation, life bringing, but she also knows what's beyond the veil, how to walk between those spaces, how to speak to spirits, how to move beyond death, how to help and assist through death. And we're talking ego death, death of old versions of ourselves, as well as physical death. And she can pull messages from those spirits, the messages from beyond, the gifts and the light codes and the activations from ancestors, and walk those paths. This is the shaman, my darling. The Crone is the shaman, 1 foot on either side of that veil, the veil walker. She is, I would make out with her right now. No, I would not, because I respect her too much. I would kiss her feet if she were with me right now, right? I will wash the feet with my hair of the Crone. That's all I have to say. She is to be feared and respected and revered, okay? I felt very passionately. I'm sorry.
I see that. No, do not apologize for your passion, because again, defend to the end the worthwhile. So, I mean, that's all there is. I like this one. This gives me like warrior woman vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which I have a thing for owls too. So like that wisdom, and then vision in the night. I know this says shock of the new, but everything about this screams expression to me. Everything. You've got your throat chakra lit up here, you know, blooming, sun, music, singing. I don't know, just everything joyful, expression, raw, authentic. So I think that all of these are worth defending, and all of these are worthwhile. And it is a whole in one.
It is a hole in one. I also feel like the two that came out together very much speak of like the warrior woman, like those two together.
Right. Well, it's like this is, I don't like to use the word fight and war, you know, but like it is the defending. Well, I mean, as a black belt, you know, everything in a period of my life was all about fighting. I'm like, you know, I want to be gentle. I'm like a fluffy teddy bear. So maybe there's balance there.
I love
right?
that too.
Right. But I guess this speaks back to that. You know, it's like I come with love and kindness and peace, but if you do not come the same way, then we gonna fight. You know? Because like all of this is worth protecting. All of this is worthwhile. And I don't know. There's a beautiful, like with these two cards, I see the balance of that warrior woman, you know, embodying everything that you've been through, everything that you're going through, everything that is everything. You know, it is the entire journey, and the warrior defends that journey. You know, and it is the journey itself. It's not a destination. It's not, oh, I've arrived, boop, I can sit here. No, it goes back to the flow. It's like the journey continues. It doesn't end. It keeps going. It keeps growing. It keeps flowing, and it's defended the entire way.
There was something I wanted to say, but then while you were talking, I was like getting this vision. So I'll start with that. And this is just going to come out of my mouth. And if it doesn't, I might like burp it out. So like I have to say it, even though I haven't logically thought it through to know this to be fact.
Let's do it.
It feels like every leader is two. There's never just one leader. And that's what I got through what you just said. Because there's the person in the forefront leading the group, the person who gives the wisdom, the person who people are drawn to, the person that people can gather around because they feel connected in that space. And there's always the person in the back, defending everybody, keeping everyone together, pushing it, creating the foundation. That's what I saw. I saw a wolf pack is what I saw. And how there's always that leader, but then there's always the one who's actually in charge, the alpha, who's like follows in the back to make sure no one gets left behind, that no one's eaten out of the middle of the pack, you know, who makes sure that everything continues to push forward as it's supposed to. But the person in the front has to know where they're going. The person in the back just has to make sure that everyone's safe. And so the two together, and I think that that's why we have our masculine and feminine sides, but there's always two parts in the 3D. There's always two parts to any form of leadership or gathering or support that we can tap into in that particular space. But then the other thing I was going to say was that, hold up those two cards again. We can also internalize this so that it doesn't have to be about a battle or a fight, but about allowing ourselves to defend the things that are important to us. Because ego will try to tell us, no, don't express, no, suppress. People might not like that. People might not accept that. And so it creates an inner battle of what we want to do and what we don't feel like we can do. And so the warrior woman in this particular case isn't about the inner battle or an external struggle, but about reminding you of your value, of your worth, of what's important, of what's worthwhile, of what you're supposed to be putting forth, so that we don't allow ourselves to fall into suppression, to fall into fear. And it's just that, again, that wolf in the back, the safety wolf at our root space saying, okay, but this is important. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep going. Let's keep allowing. Let's keep flowing, because this has to be said. This needs to be done. You know, I was sitting there with my hubs last night, right? And I've been on a 2-month-long Google search, phone call search, interview search, all international, all over the world for this one particular thing that I just want more training in, right? Like I've already been doing a certain element of it for years. I downloaded it myself. I've heard certain things, but like I want some big formal training on one particular thing. And I've searched all over the freaking world, had so many conversations with people, have even signed up for like certain courses or ebooks and all kinds of stuff. And I sat there last night and I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, there's literally nobody on the planet who is doing and teaching the thing that I want to learn. So I guess it's got to be me. I guess I'm going to have to put this together. I guess I'm going to have to teach it. I don't know where that came from. I can't recall, but that was what I thought. Oh yeah, because we're defending that. Because
I was going to say, that is what you're defending.
We keep reminding ourselves that it's worth it. We don't just give up. We allow it to flow through.
Yes.
Last card.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I feel nervous. Why do I feel nervous about it? So it's our last card. Cards keep like trying to come out, but then I don't let them. I wanted to fly out. I wanted to fly.
Yes. Same. That's how I do. I'm like, that's why the one that kind of slid out, I was like, no, there's two on the table. I'll let them go. And you're like, no, I wanted that one that like didn't quite pop out.
Ready? I'm going to pick it up off the floor.
All right.
Okay. Also, I wasn't listening at the time, but then in retrospect, I heard because it came to me slowly. You were picking on me. I want the one that didn't come out. I wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? Woodwives, adaptability. This to me feels like I've never even seen it this way before. But when I'm looking at it now, it looks like a fairy or jungle creature.
I feel like I can't even really see it. Like it's so bright. Like I can see like a silhouette and a creature and then a fire is what I see.
Fire, yes, exactly. But to me, the fire looks like a drum. It feels like a nature spirit who is drumming the fire and the transformation with the heartbeat of the earth. Now, I will say this is my deck. So I've pulled this card many times before, and it's the card that I disconnect from the most in this deck. Because anytime I pull it, it's never for the client. It's always for me. It's always telling me, hey, you're going to have to adapt with this client a little bit because what you think you're going to do, you're not going to do. Every time I pull this card. But this is the first time I pulled it in a very neutral kind of way and actually looked at it. And to me, this feels like, again, it's got the wives. So this is a feminine card. And then the wood is that connection to nature. So this feels like it's stepping away from the flow aspect and coming to that back wolf, the safety aspect, the earth aspect. How can we connect into Mother Earth enough to drum with her heartbeat, to create fires from our inspiration inside of our souls, to allow our feet to beat on her belly so that we can dance? This feels like shaking the trees, creating change from the bottom up. This feels like power to me.
Whew. Okay, so before you like went into all that, and again, you hit on some of the aspects that I had thought of when you said that the fire that looked like a drum, and I'm like, yes, but there's fire like at the feet too. And so I was thinking, yeah, that it did seem like more of a masculine card than a feminine, but almost that like, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate like what I saw and heard and everything. It's
because of the fire. Fire is a masculine element.
Well, me and fire. You know how I feel about my fire. But what I saw and felt was like the fire at the feet, like coming up and that expression coming out through the drum. And it was like almost that blind faith of like being secure and grounded in that masculine energy of like, I got you. And as I'm like feeling this, something that you had said, talking about going to the leader in the back, because I had the words leading blindly. So it's like the leader is like charging forward, feeling grounded, having that safety, security, not really knowing what's going to be expressed as they just, beat and release that energy into that drum, but trusting and knowing that it's like aligned and moved forward and they're supported. And that's just what I got. And it was that security in the fire as it's released.
I love it. That was you feeling passionate.
Yeah, it's fire. Like, I think if I could just morph into an element immediately, it would be fire.
I'd rain on you occasionally.
All right.
But like not enough to put you out, just enough to piss you off.
Yeah, so you couldn't if you wanted.
I think that this was very good. We talked about a lot of cool stuff.
I think that it's cool how it seemed like the entire, like every card kind of played on femininity, if you will, and then the flow. And then it ends with the masculine of like, yes, your masculine has you. Release into your femininity. Like full circle, that foundation is there. You are supported. Let go and let it flow.
I love that. That was a beautiful sum up. It's like you just need the secure foundation. And then the rest just does whatever the hell it wants to do.
Right.
Beautiful. Thanks for the summary. Drum roll, please. And the winner is me. Although we could have technically had a tie because you did a beautiful summary. I like that.
It's okay. We know you won.
I feel bad winning though.
Why? Here, I'll get your energetic crown.
No, then I'll feel even worse. Thank you.
Why? Own it. Own it.
Thank you very much. And you do, you see, because Erin knows me very well. So she knows that I'm like that I actually do not necessarily like the attention or want to win things or anything like that. It's almost like I like other people to have step up. Let's let other people step in. And then I feel bad, like if I'm the one doing that. But at the same time, my Leo demands a lot of energy. My Leo's like, yes, queens, let's all just stand up and put on crowns and scream and run around and dance. But then I feel bad, like if I'm the only one doing that, because then I get all of the attention, right? But I feel like we should just all be doing that. Come with me.
That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
To create that community and draw in our people so we can all dance and celebrate together.
So then from that perspective, should nobody win because we're all just dancing together? Or do we just really like to
I think we all win.
I can't tell if we just, you and me specifically, just like to have a competition going on.
Oh, for sure. But at least everybody gets to win out of it.
Yes, we all win. But this time, now, so winning, what's my prize? I get to spank you. What? Time I see you, that's my prize. Next time I see you.
Yeah. All right. Bring it on.
She's like, let's see how that ends for you.
Let's dance.
Tough guy teddy bear.
Yeah, my true colors.
I'm ending there. There's things I want to say, but I'm not going to say them. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming to Quickfire Channeling. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your evening, and hopefully there was a lot of information here that you could take forward with you. Thanks for being on with us, Erin.
And you are more than welcome.
And we'll keep all of you guys updated on any new stuff coming up from us or with Erin specifically, okay? Sound good?
Sounds great. Thanks, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.